The word I speak unto you today is not a evangelistic message. The word I speak to you today is not a pastoral message, but the word I will speak to you tonight is a very much a prophetic word. If you do not know what a prophetic word is that a word that God's getting ready to release to you now that you're getting ready to walk into after the word has been released. Look at your neighbor real good and say, neighbor, anywhere. Now shake your hand at him when I get ready to say this next part and say, anywhere but backwards. Look at your neighbors again and say, neighbor, I don't know about you, but I've been through too much hell to go backwards. So God can take me anywhere but backwards. Sit, let's work this a while. Anywhere but backwards. The north, the south, the east, the west. I don't care where you take me. But one place I refuse to go is backwards. Anything that's behind me, I refuse to let it dictate everything that's in front of me. Touch somebody and say anywhere. Say it again, say anywhere but backwards. Anywhere. To walk this walk in these days and times, life as we know it is getting more and more difficult to even live in. If you do not know that Christ is on his way back, the signs of the times are most definitely here. Dallas and Oklahoma have had 120-degree heat for 9 days. Times are most definitely changing. You do not know that by the time August 2nd may come around, you literally may be in a real depression. Gold is at an all-time high. For 1 ounce of gold, you can get almost $1,200 for an ounce of gold. Men in the marketplaces are throwing their money right now into something that's going to be sustaining and lasting for the simple fact that we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. 401ks are now very nervous for those who have one because the interest rate on those are so low that some people who had $50 and $60 and $400,000 worth of money in the bank, because the interest rate is so low, by next week they might not even have a dime. But I'm so glad that the word of the Lord said that the silver is mine and the gold is mine. And those of us who know who our God is are not worried about the vicissitudes of life, because we understand that we know that a God got our back. Life has a way of throwing you some things that you didn't even think could be realistic. That's why, even though this is youth night, we must be real careful, us as young people, what we call and say is old school and old fashioned. Because we have many of us right now who can preach it and who can shout it and who know what to do, but most of us can't live. What we say. Times has most definitely changed. One of the most worst statements I hate for people to say is that holiness is still right. My question is, when did it change? Why isn't it just right? Why is it have to be holiness is still right? And if holiness is still right and we have lost our way, who lowered the standard? You ain't say nothing to me tonight. Trust me, when I leave this, I may not even have to come back, but I go say, God to say what thus said the Lord. I said, who let the standard down if holiness is still right? If it's right yesterday, it should be right today. Because the Bible said that God said, I am the same what? And what? And what? He ain't still God, he just is God. He ain't still God, he just is God. I said he ain't still God, but he just is God. Give me 15 minutes. I'm going to flip this in a minute. I said, he ain't still God. He is God. Tell somebody, say, he is God. Say it with some authority. Say, he is God. That's one thing I love about him. He don't need your permission. He don't need you to say anything. He don't need you to do anything. He's still God. Same God that brought our foreparents over here on the independent of Santa Maria is still God. Same God that helped our grandmothers in the cotton fields is still God. Still God. No matter what they change our flag to Mississippi, it does not matter. He's still God. It don't matter what they change the rubber flag to, or whether they change the mascot of Ole Miss. If racism is in your heart, then you don't have to worry about changing the flag or changing the mascot. If racism is still in your heart, then you need to change. One of the most problems that we as believers or the saints have is we like to live in vicariously in a season in life where things were good. You know, church is not like it used to be. It used to be. It used to be. It used to be. It used to be that we stayed in church all day and all night. Well, the reason you stayed in church all day and all night because you couldn't go to a restaurant after you left church. When you came to church, the first half was service. Second half was fellowship. The third half was a political rally. That's where the word first lady came in from. It's not even biblical because we use the same platform that we have today for spiritual, social, and political. Because our foreparents, the only model that they had was a White House. We don't have church like we used to. Most of what we call devotion was slave codes that we came up with to tell each other when we were going to get out of here. Because most of us don't know. If you were back 40 and 50 years ago, you wouldn't be able to sit on the lower level. You would sit in the balcony. And your master would sit up front. And when you wanted to get up to go to the bathroom, you would hold your hand up, wait till he saw you, and hold it until you got ready to go. Now we do it in church because we use the same platform, but church is not what we used to be. But touch your neighbor, anywhere but back. I'm not saying that we should forget where we come from. I'm not saying we should forfeit where we come from. But we got to come to a place in life that backwards was that was then, but this is now, and we got to move from where we are to where we're going. Time in life has got to change. And if we don't move with the times, we'll never do what God has called us to do because we're still busy living our life vicariously through the past. Oh, you checking me out? It's fine. I'm going to work Bible with it. Genesis chapter 22. Take Abraham, your son, your only son, and offer him up in Mount Moriah. Kill your only son. The Bible clearly tells you that it was a 3 days journey. Day one, he told him on Monday, kill your son. On Thursday, Abraham was in the place. When Abraham got ready to kill his son, he said, stay your hand. Now, did he lie on Monday or did he have changed his mind on Thursday? What has happened? Time has changed. Time has changed. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that God has given many of you assignments. Many of you are called to do certain things. But what he called you to do was 2 years ago. And now you just got up enough faith to do what he's called you to do. And now you're thinking God done changed his mind and wondering why you can't do what he called you to do 2 years ago. He done gave an assignment to someone else. If you're going to write some songs, you better write them now. If you're going to preach the gospel, you better preach it now, because tomorrow is not promised to you. It's not promised unto you. Because time has changed. Look at someone say, time has changed. Yeah, say time has changed. God is changing some things and moving some things around, and you got to learn how to move with God. Tell somebody, say, I got to learn how to move with God. That's why you can't let people hinder you and pull you from where you are and pull you into another place in life, because you get stuck with somebody or some mentality that will not take you to the next level. You don't believe that time will change? Go back and find some of your old pictures and see, has your hairstyle changed, and your suit have changed, and your beard had changed. You used to have black hair, now you don't have none. Time has changed. But the picture that you took was only a caption of the time that you changed. Tell somebody, say, time has changed. And I got to get with the times. I'm not saying that you got to do what the world do. I'm not saying I'm not even going nowhere near that. I'm trying to tell you that time has changed. The Bible said that the children of darkness are wiser than us as the children of light. Times have changed. And you got to understand that there's a prophetic word over your life that God said he's getting ready to move you to a new level. That's not to make you shout. That is to take you to another place in your life. That another level does not have to come because someone preached it. Another level is when you get sick and tired of where you are right now. You can always tell when God is moving you to another level. It will not be your prayer partners that'll tell you, oh, I think God's getting ready to do something in your life. They will not be the one that testify to you about God is doing something wonderful in your life. It will not be the mothers or the deacons of the church. They will tell you, I see the hand of God on your life. But you'll always know when you move to the next level. When you get ready to move to the next level, they'll say, you don't call us like you used to call us. And you used to go out to eat with us. See, the reason that they're saying that, because when you were on the level that they didn't have a problem with you. But the moment you start moving up to another level, now you acting funny. But I wish I had about 3 people in here that would praise God right now for all of your haters. Y'all got to talk to me. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to say nothing. To tell your neighbor, I thank God for everybody who told me I wasn't going to be anything. Because right now God is preparing a table for me right in the of my enemies. The book of 2 Kings, let me move. The book of 2 Kings is the book of history. It is the history, the chronological part of the text about our church. The church. This part of 1 Kings, the 2 Kings, is we're in the regime of Elijah. When God got ready to call Elijah was plowing his parents' field. And as he's plowing his family field, Elijah threw his mantle on him. And when he threw his mantle on him, the Bible said that he told him, he said, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go kiss my mother, go kiss my father, and let me burn up this wood, and let me kill all this yoke of oxen. Why would he do that? Because when you get ready to move to the next level, you got to make sure when you step out on faith, real faith says, if I step out on here and I fall, I don't have nothing to lean back on. See, most of us said, I try it. I do this, if that's what you're calling me to do, God. But if it don't work, I got a master's degree from Ole Miss. I buy that Mercedes, but if I can't pay the notes, I got a granddaddy that'll back me up. But when this man of God got ready to move to the next level, he put himself in position to make sure he didn't have nothing to go back to when he got ready to quit where he was going. Most of us, when God's trying to take you to the next level, that's why God is killing those things in your past to make sure you have nothing to rely on when you get out there by yourself. He makes sure you have nothing to rely on. It's a bad thing, pastors, to build a big old church and then you got the foundation, but you don't know how the rest of it may get done. You out there on faith. It's bad to have a project out there and you got $15,000 in it and you need 40 more to make it come to pass. Because God can put you into a place and position in life to make sure you don't fall back on anything but him.